Okay, so this is a little bit of a different Q&A. I know I put out for people to ask me questions and whatnot, and I'm going to answer them all, but I just thought it would be more interesting for people to watch this game than to actually watch just me sitting here. Some of the questions you guys asked me were great, some of them were bizarre. I'm going to do my best to answer all of them. Sandra Mama has a good question. She says, what has been your favorite project you've worked on so far? My favorite project that I've worked on so far. Oh man, I've had some really good projects. I'll be honest, my favorite project that I've worked on so far has definitely been, oh my god, you can just knock the wall down? What am I doing with these couch cushions? Okay, never mind. My favorite production or any project that I've worked on so far was a production called The Tempest of Somes Island. And if you're familiar with Shakespeare, which I'm generally not, see if I can jump. And what it was is, it was just Shakespeare's The Tempest. So how it worked was there's an island, I'm just gonna have to die. How it worked was there's an island in the middle of Wellington Harbour. And what they did is they had the audience buy tickets to catch this ferry to the island where they were going to perform The Tempest, which is about a ship wrecking on an island and, you know, spooky spirits of the island and dark wizard and all that kind of thing. But what they didn't know is that some of the actors were on the boat. So I played Ferdinand and I was on the boat with them. They were actually taking part in the show, playing members of the crew. They had no idea this was happening. They just thought I was some other guy going to see the show. Anyway, so we had a boat captain who would like pretend to crash the boat on the island, and everyone became shipwrecked, and then I would start panicking, and then everyone was wondering what was wrong with me, and then they soon realized that I was part of the play. The difficult thing with that is that my director didn't tell me that I was actually going to be doing that. So I didn't know that I was going to be alone with the audience for that long. 40 minutes of just me and the audience and two other actors. Just improvising straight for 40, I am not doing this very well. I cannot cross that. Once we got to the island, you know, there was a little bit more improv between me and the other actors, and then once we got to the place where the other actors were, then the play began. And it was just amazing, and it was all outside, and there was no stage, and it happened in and around the audience, and they were totally immersed in this production, and it was just the best production I've ever done. And the issue with that production, I think, for me, is that it was actually so good that I never did another production afterwards. And that was like 5 years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago now. And the reason I haven't done anything else is purely because I just can't fathom doing anything else. Like, there's just nothing that really entices me. Like, I just haven't come across a play that was as good as that. Because, I mean, the whole point of doing acting for me is to have that level of immersion and to interact with an audience that wouldn't normally take part in that. That's what I'm interested in doing. And so far I find that a lot of the plays that I get asked to do are generally plays that are just for other actors to watch and to laugh at, and I don't get any enjoyment out of that so much, which is why I moved into film. And I would love for there to be another production that came up that was as immersive as that, and I would love for something like that to happen again, but there just hasn't been anything like it in ages. I'm going to try and jump this. Oh my god, how do I cross this? Okay. This looks like a kid's game because it's all light and fluffy, but it is. This is difficult. Oh, do I run and jump onto that thing? Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jordan, you're a genius. What's wrong with my hand? Oh, I've broken my hand. Come on. Oh, there. Boom. There we go. Leeman Kavik said, hi, Jordan. Hi, Leeman Kavik. Oh, look at this one. Intrepid with 2 eyes says, I photograph girls through a webcam. I mean, that's okay. Hopefully that's consensual and they know that's happening. And also, I don't really know why you told me that, but good on you. Best places on earth says, Würde schmecken, gör bom Reichwit auch benwohren. Hudsten steht, hast du Lust zur Kirchen? I will Google Translate that later and I will write my answer in the comments. Thank you for asking. Ruby Breyer says, your thoughts on how Australia is dealing with COVID-19? Agree, disagree, and why? Look, I am not an expert, and I'll tell you one thing, I am not going to pretend to be one because I think there are far too many people that are doing that. There are far too many Karens on Facebook. There are far too many know-it-all guys that think they are suddenly bioscientists, and I don't think we need any more. And so I refuse to be one. I don't often share anything to do with COVID-19. I generally don't talk about it because I think we have enough people doing that for us. I think at the moment the most important thing for us to do is to stick with what we know, which is what the government has told us, roll with that, and then focus on our own well-being, mental health, and those of our loved ones. I think, we all just need to stop listening to things that are not science-based or government-based, and hopefully trust that the government isn't listening to anything that isn't science-based either. I think Australia is doing fine. They're great, fantastic people, beautiful people. I think the system is effed. That's not, necessarily to do with Australians. I think that is largely just I think I'm supposed to jump off this. Oh my god, boom. I think largely what needs to happen is just a restructure of the system, which might be something that happens because of COVID-19. I think COVID-19, if anything, has shown us for certain a lot of loopholes and a lot of things that we probably already knew. Like the fact that most of our jobs are not necessities, and I think I'm supposed to go in there. Let's just go in there. And also I think one thing that it's taught us is the amount of, now that everyone's working from home, hopefully that's shown a lot of CEOs and managers that it is possible to work from home now. And the reason why that is significant is because I think for a very long time, disabled people have probably lost out on a lot of jobs because it was thought for a very long time that the job couldn't be done from home. And so now, hopefully after all of this, we've proven that actually no, a lot of the jobs that we didn't think could have been done from home could have. And I hope that there's going to be an opportunity now for our disabled community to take part in a way that they weren't being allowed to take part previously. I think it's safe to say that ScoMo is an idiot, clearly, just very clearly an idiot. I watched an interview with ScoMo yesterday saying that his prayer knees were getting sore because of all the praying he's been doing. That's an idiotic statement for so many reasons. One, it's not a tangible thing that your leader is doing for you. So it's not a nice thing to hear. It's not a nice thing really to hear that somebody, I'm glad that he has faith, good on him, but the fact that he's not doing his job, isn't helpful, because his job isn't to have faith. That's him as a person. That's good. But his job is to actually do physical things, to make tangible decisions, things that affect people, to reallocate money, those kinds of things. He has to do those things, sign things, walk to places, those things. Having faith is great, but it isn't part of the job. So what I would like to hear more from him are actual tangible things that he's doing. And also, that's just a dumb thing to say anyway, because generally when people pray, they just go on both knees. So to say his praying knees is almost as if to say that he has a separate pair of knees that he doesn't usually use for anything else apart from praying. Stupid. ScoMo, you're a bit thick. What does this button do? Does this button do anything? Why did I jump on this? Oh, the button opens that door. Oh, okay. Put the box back on that thing. Okay, so the fun part of this game is that it's a ragdoll game. So the fun of it comes from the fact of how absurd it is just to try and control this damn creature. Ruby Bryce also says, simple but delicious food to make during isolation. I'm the last person to ask about that kind of thing because I like food, but I don't ever have really a preference for taste. What the hell am I supposed to? Oh, okay. Ooh, all right. I'll pull that down. I'm the worst person to ask for recipes because at the moment, these days, I just don't even. Food to me is just fuel. I don't even have taste buds anymore. I think after like years of having to drop weight for different productions or put weight on stuff, I'm so accustomed to. Oh, man, I'm a genius. Look at that. I just solved that puzzle. I'm so accustomed to just eating like rice, fish cakes, and chicken breast. Alex Beecham, my man, says, other than New Zealand, where else would you choose to live? That's such a hard question because I think everywhere where I would like to live, like to actually live and have a house and to explore all the time, places that I would like to live are actually terrible places for me to thrive in the industry because I'm an actor, right? So I should be near those kinds of cities and whatnot. But where I would like to live are like places like Russia and Slovakia and all of that. I just love those parts of the world, and I love Russian architecture, and I love brutalist architecture. I'd love to just spend a few years exploring. I'd love to just spend a few years exploring all those Eastern European countries. Poland would be amazing. I just love all the clothes and the art. I'm gonna go with Poland in terms of places I'd want to live. Oh, Tris Gray, girl, says, how do you cope from a heartbreak? How do I cope from a heartbreak? I think for me, if ever there have been times where I've had to just cope, it's purely because I just had to. It wasn't really, it's like, coping I think is like very rarely ever actually a choice. You know? I think a lot of the time the universe gives you something that you just have to cope with. And I don't think, as cheesy as it sounds, I don't think the universe gives you anything that's beyond your capacity to cope with. But when it comes to heartbreak, you just gotta remember that it's always something that you can learn from. And no matter what the heartbreak is, your heart will mend again. It will, because A, it has to, and because B, there is just an abundance of amazing and beautiful things in the world. Like, there are so many things in the world to fall in love with. And I think part of mending after heartbreak is just finding those things. And that's probably part of dealing with the stress, any stress really, or any emotional difficulty, is just finding those small, beautiful things in life and appreciating those smaller things. And I think that's why a lot of people, after they get divorced, suddenly get into like jogging, or they get into art, or they get into traveling or something. A, I guess it's a distraction, and B, it's a way to force yourself to find love and beauty in smaller things and appreciate them. Because that's what helps you cope, I think, is simply going through a stage of reminding yourself that the world is fine, that the world is okay, regardless of how you're feeling inside. Actually, the world is much bigger than this feeling, and I'm going to survive because the universe loves me. So I guess, yeah. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I hope it does. Jess Face is cool. Jess Face is cool. I love your Instagram, by the way. Jess Face is cool says, what high school did you go to? I went to AC. If you know AC. AC or Alte College. AC Fummelot C. That's what we used to say on the courts. Pretty cool. Oh no. I need to put that box on that thing so that I can open that door. Okay. Michelle says, you're a jack of all trades, doing cool things in creative spaces. But what do you enjoy the most? Man, that's difficult. What do I enjoy most? At the moment, I think I enjoy editing my footage, which sounds really boring, but the reason I enjoy it a bit is because I really want to show people. That's the whole reason I got into photography, was because where I lived, people didn't really travel much out of our space or out of our community, but I was really into like seeing different festivals and traveling into the city and whatnot. And so I got into photography because that was a way that I could show people the cool things that I was seeing that was within their reach. They could go see it too. And as I grew up, that expanded. And then I started going overseas and photographing those things and videoing those things. It's just what I was saying about coping, and how you should look for the small, beautiful things, the small evidence of love in the universe. It's the same thing with my photography and my filming. A lot of what I'm doing is just showing people things that they've already seen, but trying to show them in a different way. And I'm really excited to show people what I've been filming over the past 3 years. These vlogs were totally not something I was meaning on doing. These vlogs were I just wanted to do something during the quarantine, but actually the vlogs that I had planned have nothing to do with anything I've been doing. In fact, I have a series. Oh my god, I was not ready for that. What the? How do I? Oh no. I was meant to get on that hook, wasn't I? Son of a bitch. Alright, okay, we can do this. I need to get up to that hook somehow. Alright. No, yeah, there's a whole other series that I wanted to show people that I will show people eventually. But I just have to find the right time to do it, because right now is not the right time. And that includes my other favorite thing I should mention is acting. Is always acting. For those of you who don't know, I do a lot of photography and sculpting. I do some painting and acting and videography and editing and some producing and singing. But I guess the main thing for me is always acting, because acting is all about appreciating and understanding the importance and value of collaboration. And that's really exciting to me. The possibilities that can come out of a good collaboration are actually infinite. There are so many amazing things that can come from simply two people sharing a mind for a moment, or 3 people or 4 people. And film blows my mind, because if everyone does their job and brings their life experience to the table, you can make something out of nothing. You can make a film really, but the evidence and the fingerprints of every person that's been a part of the film are evident in the story and the final product. And that's always really exciting. I just love collaboration. I'm really excited about every collaboration I do. I have no idea how the hell I'm supposed to get up there. Do I involve, oh, what is this thing? Another wall placed to block your journey. Not really rock solid. Rock solid. This is a rock. That is a rock. What? How do I get up there? This is definitely not what I meant to be doing, but I can't figure out what I'm meant to do, so we're just gonna roll with it. That's the fun part of a ragdoll game. Miss D'Angelo says, "Hi, Jordan Rivers. I'm an actress that's about to be featured on Netflix. Follow my page for more updates on my life." Hi, Miss D'Angelo. That's fantastic. I'm very happy for you. I'm also about to be in a Netflix TV series, so tell you what, let's follow each other for some reason. Megan Womanship, I freaking love your page. And you've also said, will you do a fantasy adult version of the storytelling, but with violence, swearing, and sex? Oh, you mean like the little kid's story that I read the other day. You want a fantasy adult version, but with violence, swearing, and sex. What would I read? I have no idea what that would be. Like, my ideal fantasy series is Lord of the Rings. Really, like 0 sex and 0 swearing. Oh, you mean like Game of Thrones? You know what? Yes, I will. Okay, if someone recommends to me a good series that is, oh my god, my wall. If someone is able to recommend a good series, a good fantasy series to me, that's an adult series, I will do a reading of it and hope that I don't get some kind of copyright claim on my thing. I'll give it a go. Why not? I'm trying to build a ladder, by the way. Joe A. Taylor says, Has your sleep schedule also been wildly thrown off? Oh my god, yes, 100%. Lockdown has meant that I just don't see a point in going to bed, so I don't. I'm generally going to bed at like 3 o'clock right now, and then getting up at like 7, because there's just no, what do I need to be awake for? Being tired is totally acceptable in my own house. Sarah Shawris, I love you. Who is your scariest family member? I mean, my scariest family member, no one in my family is very scary. Everyone's very much like me, like they're quite chilled, relaxed. I think in a way we're probably annoyingly chill sometimes, but like not to ourselves. I think chilled and relaxed people often attract people that are a little bit high strung, some A-type personalities, and we can often annoy them. I'm very aware of that. So I don't think that anyone in my family is actually very scary. I know as a kid I was more likely to be afraid of my sister telling me off than I was of my brother or my mum. This is going to be the most frustrating video for everyone who knows what I'm actually meant to be doing. Okay, that didn't really do anything. Lick a Wellington CBD rubbish bin or chew gum that's been on the ground in a Porirua pub. Without a doubt, I will lick a rubbish bin. Those pubs are not good. They're so... No. Those pubs are nasty. I will 100% lick a rubbish bin in the Wellington CBD, even during this pandemic. I feel like that would still be safer than eating anything from a Porirua pub. What's your favorite road trip snack? Probably a pie and a can of V. How horrible is that? Does your hair grow really fast? Yes, it does. I'm Samoan, it doesn't stop growing. It's day 11 and I didn't have a beard when this lockdown started. Are you awake or tired once you've wound down from your workout? Okay. For those of you who don't know, at the moment I'm doing a fairly intense workout every morning because I just need to, otherwise I'll lose my mind. And also a friend of mine has challenged me to do 100 burpees every single night for this week. And so I'm doing that, 100 burpees every single night. And then next week we're making it 150 burpees, and then so on and so forth, every week adding 50. So are you awake or tired once you've wound down from your workout? Tired. Best LPT you would tell 16-year-old you. What would I tell 16-year-old me is to, there's this, see, I'm not going to say that I'm very religious, but alcoholics, I'm not an alcoholic, but alcoholics have this prayer that they do in this 12-step program. And I remember hearing it when I was a kid, and it stuck with me, and I think it is just the best mantra to have. So for 16-year-old me, I would tell them this: find the serenity to accept things you cannot change, the courage to change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now that mantra has brought me so much peace, and it's a very common one. I think it's brought millions of people in the world peace as well. But the serenity to accept the things you can't change, the courage to change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference between those two is so massive in just making your way through life. So massive. I'm going to try and find another way to get up there. This ladder thing is not working. Michelle says, if you were a pizza topping, what would you be? Currently I would be pineapple, because no one seems to like it, but also it's delicious and confusing. So definitely pineapple. White marshmallows or pink? Pink. Tiger or lion? Male lion, female tiger. Purple or pink? Purple. Would you rather work looking after children but be outside all day, or work not looking after children but being in an office? 100% I will pick children if I get to be outside. I worked as a rock climbing and kayak instructor for 3-4 years. Loved all of it. A lot of it was also really challenging, but it was still stuff that I grew from. Absolutely loved it. Then I went and worked in an office for 2 years because that was the smart thing to do, I thought, because I was being an adult, and I just freaking hated it. And I don't think I've been as depressed as I was working in an office as I had been in any other point in my life. In fact, the only other point that I was as depressed in that time was when I was working probably in a department store where I didn't get to see the sun all day. So what I learned is that seeing the sun and being in it is vital to my quality of life. I need it. So I'm not going to make it up there. So I will 100% choose working with kids in the sun. Plus, I actually really like working with kids. Like if kids are ready to play and kids are willing to try things, they're the most fun human beings you'll find because there's very little ego there. Working as a rock climbing and kayak instructor, yeah, I always, 10 out of 10 will always choose to work with a group of kids rather than a group of adults. No egos, willing to try things, get to be outside, stay fit, beauty. Oh, and the final question, great one, is what's your favorite dinosaur? I love dinosaurs. You can just walk through it. You can just walk through the wall. Oh my God. That took me so long to build that thing and you can just walk through the wall. I hate this game and I love it at the same time. Okay, my favorite dinosaur. I mean, I really love the... Ooh, I get to smash that wall with this train. I really love the T-Rex, but I think that's really cliche. So I'm gonna say... I think like a Diplodocus. I think a Diplodocus is my favorite dinosaur because they're kind of dopey looking and their nostrils are like above their eyes, which is kind of cool. And they're basically just like big, giant, long neck cows. And I love cows. Like a land whale. Can you imagine how wonderful it would be if a blue whale was a land creature? To me, that seems wonderful. I would love that. That's all the questions you guys asked. Thank you very much for watching me struggle through this game. I didn't even make it past one level. Do I run and jump in that thing? Okay, just before I go, I'm gonna try and make it to that bridge. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Boom, nailed it. Man, I love smashing things. That's a good time. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Day 11. Still got another 3 weeks, pretty much. Another 2 weeks and a bit. Oh well. See you around.